right, so for this video, we're going to set up our pickups to give us points, right? We set up the UI and take some points, but now we need to actually make it so when we hit a pickup, it will give us those points. To do that though, we're going to use inheritance. So we made this BP item blueprint, right? This BP item blueprint only has the ability to spin and move up and down, and it has a collision, but that's it. It doesn't actually do anything. We want to actually set this up where we can have an item that we can pick up and get points. We also eventually want to have items that will maybe take away points or take away health. Instead of making two separate items that have these functions, what if instead we inherit from our item to make a pickup item? So if we right-click BP item, create a child blueprint class, and we'll do BP underscore pickup item, or we can call it coin or something like that. I'm including the word item there so that way I know what it's inheriting from. I think that's usually a pretty good way of tracking that, but you don't actually have to. So I'll do BP pickup item, and I'll double click this, and I'm going to dock this onto my editor. I'm going to go into my scene, and I'm going to select the item that I made earlier and delete that. Instead, I'm going to place in a pickup item. I'm going to move my player start back just so I have room. And just for testing purposes, I'm going to take my pickup item and drag that in here and put that right in front of the player so I can run into it really easily, just for testing. So we have that BP item, or BP pickup item, rather. I'm going to close BP item, the parent class, just to avoid confusion. I have my BP pickup item. All right. Well, what do we get access to when we inherited? Well, I see that if I go to my event graph, I have event BeginPlay. Then I have, what's this? Parent BeginPlay. This says, all right, do event BeginPlay, but then call whatever the parent object has for BeginPlay. Here I have event actor begin overlap. Then I have parent actor begin overlap. This is saying when this pickup item runs, call whatever the parent has for it first. And then the same for tick, event tick. Parent tick is called, which means for our parent, which has been in sign motion set up for it, that will run automatically. That's cool. So we don't even need to have to worry about the function. That being said, I could go right click and I could search for sign motion and I'll be able to get access to it because the parent has it. My child class, the pickup item, has it too, without I have to make a new one. All right. Now let's go ahead and set this to destroy itself on pickup, right, when we run into it. So event actor begin overlap, I want it to destroy that object when I run into it. I want it to go away. Now I could do that in here for the pickup item, or I could do that in the BP item. But if I do it here in the source item, then everything else gets it, all right? For the sake of clarity, I'm going to go ahead and actually go to my BP item. I'll open that up after all. Go to my static mesh, and I'm going to change this mesh to a cube for the source item. Compile and save. When I do that, go to my BP pickup item. Hey, it changed. Well, it inherited the static mesh from BP item. So what I changed here showed up in the child class. But if I go into the child class, the BP pickup item, and I change this back to a pyramid, then compile and save this, my pickup item has a pyramid, but my parent object, the BP item, doesn't. It still has the cube. So we can make changes to the child class without affecting the parent, but any change we make to the parent will affect the children classes because it will inherit from it. Now to that point, in my pickup item, again, be sure which one you're working in the pickup item, I'm going to add in a variable. And this is going to be, we'll do PointsToAdd. I'll set this to a integer, and I'm going to make it public, so that way it can be seen and edited. Now, once I've added my PointsToAdd, I'm going to compile and save, and go to my BP pickup item. And for my details, I now have the ability to put in PointsToAdd. I'll set that to 1. So when we pick up the pickup item, compile and save, we want to set this up to add in 1 point. Now I added that variable here, and again, notice that is not showing up on our BP item, the parent object. We do get access to the parent object's speed and stuff like that though, which is handy. So we've set up a variable for PointsToAdd. How do we actually add those points? Well, go to my event graph on my pickup item, and from event begin overlap, parent begin, actor begin overlap, I'm going to drag off here, and I'm going to do destroy actor. So it will destroy the actor when I run into it. So we'll save this, press play, run into it. And it worked. But it only destroyed it when I ran into the actual shape, not the collider. So let's change that. I'll go to my BP pickup item. Actually, you know what? Let's do this in the BP item, the parent class, sorry. So in the BP item, I'm going to select my static mesh, scroll down to collision presets. I'm going to set this to no collision. I don't want the static mesh to cause a collision. Compile and save. I'm going to go to my sphere collider, go here for my collision presets. And I'm going to set this to be, well, actually overlap all dynamic works. So the sphere collider has the collision, but not the static mesh. So if I compile and save that and test this out now, we'll run into the collider. And that should work. So now when I hit the collider, it destroys the actor. You can test this out by making the collider bigger if you wanted to. So you can go BP item, sphere collider. I'm going to make this bigger, a lot bigger, just for testing. Compile and save. Run into it now. And yeah, I hit the collider area, so it worked. So I'll reset the radius back to 32 and go from there. So instead of just destroying the actor, we want to call the functions that we made in order to add points. So we need to get access to our BP player controller, which will get us to the BP HUD, which will get us to WB score UI. In order to get to the player controller, we need to get to the BP player ball. So instead of BP player ball, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to make a new function, and I'll do add points. And for this function, I want to add an input. This will be PointsToAdd. I'll set this to an integer. So we can call this function, and then to do this, we need to get the BP player controller. So we'll right click and we'll do get player controller. From the get player controller, we'll do cast to BP player controller. We'll connect this here. We'll say, if that works, as BP player controller, update score. The issue we have here now is that we don't actually have anything in update score to be able to pass in those points. Let's go to our BP player controller. For update score, I'll click this. I'm going to make an input. This is going to be PointsToAdd. I'll set it to an integer. And then we'll say, instead of adding 1 point, we're going to pass in this value there. So whatever we get for our PointsToAdd, we'll pass it in. I'll rearrange this a little bit so it's a little cleaner. So now we have in our player controller the ability to pass in the points we want to add. So our BP player ball, we can then add those points. So we go to PointsToAdd and connect to PointsToAdd. Then I'll add in those rerouting nodes to clean this up. I'll compile and save this. And then finally in BP pickup item, I can go to my event actor BeginPlay, go to the other actor, and I'm going to cast to PlayerBall, cast to BP PlayerBall. Then we'll say as BP PlayerBall, we're going to add points. And then we'll destroy actor. Break that link there. Instead, connect this here. I'm going to add my rerouting nodes to clean this up. Then line these up so that was a little bit cleaner. So again, we call actor event begin overlap, which is going to call the parent items event begin overlap. Then in our pickup item, we're going to get the player ball and then get its player controller, which is a function in here that we defined in our player ball, to add points. And then the points to add, we take our points to add variable we made, we'll get points to add and connect that there. So now we can define how many points we want to add in the item itself. So compile and save, press play, and I now have one item collected. It worked. If I add in a bunch of these pickup items, I can pick them all up and I get a bunch of points. Now we're going to set this up where you'll be able to input the number of items that you need to collect to beat the level. And it'll say like items collected 0 of 3 or whatever. But we'll get to that point a little bit later. We've already made really good progress. We have something that's starting to actually kind of be almost like a game. Now we need to set up traps, things to avoid, where if you run into them, you lose health or something like that. And that's going to more or less follow the same pattern that we just did, with some minor changes. But for right now, let's go ahead and just compile and save. Make sure you save everything. Back up your work on GitHub, and good to go. Thanks.